Gracious good morning. It's time for today's Jeep Shot. So today, this week rather, what we're doing is a series of 5 related videos, the top 5 ways to create wealth. Yesterday's subject, if you missed it, was about public speaking, which I think everybody knows you can make money at public speaking, but exactly what do you do in that regard? And so in yesterday's Jeep Shot, we talked about some areas of focus so that you could increase your revenues and not necessarily what you think might be the case. So I do hope you'll take a few minutes to check that out. And today is about number 2 of 5, which we'll talk about stock investing. Oh my gosh. So what do we have here? Options, shorts, puts and calls, 401s, IRAs, bonds, and what else? So, that's a lot of terms that, just kind of make you scratch your head or make you just ignore it altogether. But, let's agree that it's not just about the money. It's more about abundance and a prosperous mindset. But wouldn't you like to have some dollars to go along with that? So I think we're all agreed that social security is not really going to be there when we need it. And there's other things you want to invest for besides retirement, but that's obviously a big key. So stocks should be part of everyone's investment pie. So what you want to do is, you do need to learn about it and you do need to take some steps. So I will hopefully remember to give you an important couple of resources at the end of the video. But I just wanted to talk to you about that briefly. So stocks, the stock market right now, it's made a nice strong recovery. I wish I had more money in there. I am invested in the stock market, and I'm happy with the choices that I've made. But of course, we watch Apple's stock go up. The person who I work with, one of them, we were talking about stocks. I don't know how the subject came up, but she bought Apple stock, and I'm going to use that with no S because it is very expensive. So she only bought one share. But she bought it at 600, and as of yesterday, it was up over 1100, and this is really over a couple of months. That's pretty ridiculous, first of all. So, number one, you don't have to just aim for the big names because the big names cost more. Number two, you can get started for as little as $25 and even less in many cases. So, but you don't want to just jump in willy-nilly. First of all, you want to have a strategy. What are you investing for? Are you investing for the present? Are you investing for a particular goal that you want to have some money for? Saving for the kids' college, or for a house, or whatever you may be investing for. And of course, the big R, are you investing for retirement? So first of all, know what your goals are, and know what your timeline is. So I don't want to wait to the end because I'll probably forget. So Courtney Smith, as I mentioned him, I think 2 days ago, he is one of the highest rated traders, and I attended his training, and one of the things I liked about Courtney, number one, the information was great. So remember, Courtney Smith equals trading, and trading is a particular strategy because you're in and you're out. It's not like day trading because you have to be on the computer like 24/7. You don't have time for that. Okay, but a couple things from Courtney. Number one, don't risk more than 1% of your investment dollars, so that keeps your risk low. And there are different ways to tell you how many shares to buy of a particular stock and what stocks to buy. But the other thing is, he doesn't invest until after 5, so he's not, having his heart race or his stomach plummet as the stock goes up and down. You invest after 5 when the market is closed, and you're not just in a, all shook up because of the ups and downs of the market. And the market does go up and down, but that's not the issue. You make money whether the market goes up, you make money whether the market goes down. But it's all based on a strategy. So those were 2 of the takeaways from Courtney, and like I said, I do hope to bring you more information on that as I put my notes together into something cohesive that you can actually use. But the other strategy that I use is Phil Town, T-O-W-N, his book called Rule Number 1, which is don't lose money. Yay, no one wants to lose money. We want to make money, but we don't want to lose money. So a couple of the things that he talks about is invest in what you know. So that is so huge. People it's like you get a tip from your brother-in-law or your stockbroker. Is this something that you're familiar with? Is invest in places that you spend your money and your time. Say, for instance, one of the things that what am I invested in? I'm going to have to come back to that, but I want to tell you one of the things that I did was I wanted to get my kids started and, of course, hopefully get them interested. So a few years, several years ago, they grow so fast, I bought my son some stock in Marvel Comics because, of course, comics, we've all known about the Hulk and who is that? They have that movie coming out. So the Hulk, Thor, and those people, then the Avengers. So comics, kids know comics. So I bought him stocks in Marvel. And so at the time I bought it, it was $13, and of course it immediately started going up, which was totally exciting. But I waited. Um, it went from I bought it at 13 for him, and it went up to like 17 pretty quickly. And said, well, gee, if I bought it for him, maybe I should buy some for me. So I bought for me also. And I grew up with Marvel Comics too, so that was something I was familiar with, and I understand the attraction. So there's growth potential, and there's lots more to it. I'm just trying to give you 3 minutes. But, and then shortly after that, it was over $36. Well, not shortly, probably a year or so, a couple years, I don't know. But, and then after that, Disney bought it, so the growth hasn't been as rapid, but it is still going up. So, again, that's just one example of buying what you know and what you understand. If you don't understand technology, don't buy technology. Or, if you're looking for income, you want to buy dividend stocks, and that means stocks that they pay their investors, but you want to reinvest the dividends. So that was a whole lot of information and a lot more detail than I wanted to go in. So let me see if I can wrap it up into something you can actually use. Courtney Smith, Courtney Smith is a trader. His strategy is to invest for the short term rather than buy and hold. He buys a stock at the right time, he sells it after it goes up astronomically, he takes his cash and reinvests. So trading, if you're looking for short period of time so that you can make money faster. Now, if you're buying and holding, you want to use Phil Town's strategy. You can get his book, Rule Number One. And of course, this follow-up to that was Payback Time. Both of those are easy reads. They're good. It's good information that you can use right away. But one of his primary strategies is to buy what you know, and then I believe there's 5 other areas that you need to look at. But that is the first thing that you need to look at. So I hope that wasn't too all over the place, but it is something that you should consider. Get back into stocks with some of your money, but do your homework. That's the whole point. You have to do your homework. And I didn't get to talk to you about exchange traded funds, but again, I will be putting the trading videos together at some point in time. So that's today's Cheap Shot. Have a prosperous day. Ciao.